to describe, like, if it's okay, it's an alien person who is almost a robot, doesn't feel emotions. Oh my gosh, now that I think of it that way, it's almost like it's almost a blessing to feel that.
This is real for me. I need this. This is a therapy for me.
Before we dive in, a quick but important note. We are not licensed mental health professionals or medical experts. The conversations that we have on this podcast are based on our personal experiences, thoughts, and opinions. Nothing shared here is intended to be taken as medical advice, a diagnosis, or a substitute for professional help. If you are struggling or need support, please reach out to a qualified mental health provider or medical professional. Hi, David.
How's it going?
Dude, I've been wanting you to be on our podcast the whole time.
Thank you. When you guys launched, I was like, oh, this is it. Like, this is what I'm excited for. Yeah. So happy I'm here.
Yeah. It's funny because I've had both of you individually on my old podcast, but then I was like, I've seen some of your other podcasts that you've done, and you've talked about like depression and stuff. And I was just like, God damn it, I couldn't get that out of him. And I'm like, of course, my stupid entrepreneurial podcast, I'm just talking about his freaking business. But then there's this whole other avenue of like mental health stuff that we didn't even get into. But I was just like, hey, wait a second. Now we can,
it's perfect here.
Now it's like, now we have like the perfect platform to be able to talk about it on.
It's funny because like early on when I was going on podcasts, it's like, you know, I have so much to me. Like, how do I express it all in one podcast? And I quickly learned like you can't. So that's why I'm like, I'll let the person kind of guide what they want out of me.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's cool that now we're back.
Yes.
And we get to explore more.
That's so cool. I didn't know that he was on your podcast.
Yeah, he was, I want to say he was early on.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was early on. Yeah.
I think it was early on that you were on my other podcast.
Is that how you guys met?
No, right?
No. I was at your very first Arizona Filmmakers event. Yeah, the warehouse in downtown. I was at there, and then I don't know if I actually met you there, but like I found out about your event, and then I think after that I reached out, and then finally we connected and had you on the podcast.
Yeah, because when when I was on your podcast, I knew of you pretty well already. So
cool.
Oh
yeah,
that's exciting.
Oh, okay. Hi. Okay.
Boosting his ego.
Yeah, there we go.
We all need a little bit.
Okay.
That's awesome.
Hell yeah. How did you guys originally meet?
That's so funny. The memory just clicked right away, didn't it?
Do you want to tell it or you want me to?
I want to hear your version.
Okay, so I saw that he was starting Arizona Filmmakers by interviewing filmmakers out here in Arizona, and I just messaged them and I was like, you're not including women. Like,
oh, no.
Yeah, I was like, but I didn't say it like you should like interview me. I was just like, you should include women. And then I just inserted myself into Arizona Filmmakers. I was like, hi, I'm not leaving.
Yeah, really? That's not what I felt like.
I came at you guys.
Did you? I feel like I was like not chasing you. I was like, you're awesome. Like, I want you to be a part of this. So that's funny that you thought that.
No, I feel like I just came in and was like, I'm here now. Sorry.
That's awesome.
Funny.
Yeah.
So I don't remember you messaging us for the first time, but I remember you at the industry night at the what is it? Film fest. What is it called?
The Phoenix Film Festival industry
Phoenix,
night.
yeah.
Oh.
So we had a little table and we were going around telling people about the event, the first event.
Oh, okay.
And then we saw Kayla, and Kayla's like, I don't like you guys because
I didn't say that.
You said something about like, I don't mess with you guys because you don't interview women. And I was like,
damn, just coming on strong like that.
I didn't know who she was, nothing. I was just like, oh shit, I think you're right. Yeah.
I just come off strong. I didn't mean it to
It's
come
like,
off
fuck
like
you
that.
guys.
No,
okay.
but at that moment, like I wasn't taking anything like wrong.
Yeah.
You know, like
that's good.
I just internalized it and said, I think you're right.
Yeah.
You know,
And I was so happy that you started too.
Yeah.
Then we started the Women on Set event.
Exactly.
And then that's been my whole life since.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
That's too funny.
Yeah, that's how the Women on Set thing happened.
Really?
I like told him that they needed to include women more, and so he did a all women's event.
Yeah.
And then it was such a good event that we like started a group chat, and there's like 230 women in it now.
Wow.
That is
This is
insane.
the third year in a row that we've done the event.
So yeah, I put a lot of thought into that first one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it was that's the best one still, I think.
I really like them. Each of it has its own stories.
Yeah.
Where I feel like I should talk about like behind the scenes, but that one, like it was coming up and I told my wife, like, I need to lock myself in the room and plan this whole thing. And then just the idea started sparking. And I was just like, oh my gosh, if each one gets to know each other
Yeah.
in different rooms with
Mhm.
different activities. And then by the end of it, I was like, I'm so jealous I'm not gonna be at this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Oh,
that's
man.
great.
It still it boggled me that was still a niche that hadn't been hit yet with like just first of all, the name is Arizona Filmmakers. That was just like,
No one
how
took
is
it.
that
Yeah.
name available, first of
Yeah,
all?
crazy.
Right.
But I don't know, it was such weird timing because like I didn't have any interest in the film industry at all until it was close to the start of that. So it was like the timing of Arizona Filmmakers was like right around the time that I got interested in film. So it was like the weirdest timing ever of like, oh, okay, so now there's this new emerging community and stuff.
Cool.
But I heard that you had to kind of step down from like
Yes.
the whole role of it. Was that just due to like mental health stuff and trying to
Yeah, kinda. I just started seeing, so yeah, to get a little like, raw on this,
Mhm.
like I was putting all my effort into Arizona Filmmakers, building it, coming up with the next thing. Like I know it wasn't an event each month, but to me it almost felt like that.
Right.
And so I was neglecting like my business. The second year of Arizona Filmmakers, my business Moneta was like lost all its clients.
Really?
I had like to the point where, and Stefan knows, he had to like lend me some money for gas, and like I didn't know how I was gonna make it. And the thing is, we don't take any profits from Arizona Filmmakers. Like it's always going into
The next
the
event.
next event and stuff like that. And I think that's why we've been able to keep it going for so long. So I just started seeing all the people around me that were growing together grow, and I'm like, feel like I'm getting left behind. I'm not growing my business. So I was like, I talked to my wife. I was like, yeah, I need to take care of you guys first before I can give. I have to be able to have something for myself. So that's why I kind of stepped down.
That makes sense.
Yeah, but he hasn't officially. Like we still
No, we
he's still the leader. Like
Yeah.
we still got some stuff. Like
yeah.
there's so many ideas.
Just
Yeah.
like not as involved as you were.
It's like a little
previously.
break.
Yeah, you like made like a checklist for me, which is really helpful.
Yeah. Okay.
Because like I didn't want you to have to help me with the Women on Set event, but I just asked you like, how do you guys put together the events? And he already had a checklist, so I could
Oh,
do
that's
it
good.
myself. And we just have such a big team now. There's like, how many of us are there? There's like
Officially,
10 or
18, but
18.
Oh,
you know,
wow.
there's some people that are too busy or are
Right.
busy. So
Yeah.
I think 10 is a good number.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of community partners that
Really?
yeah, like they help with the events too now.
Yeah.
So
How old were you when you launched your company?
My first one,
Both the Moneta and
Arizona Film Week.
yeah.
Moneta, I think I want to say 2021.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
like the year 2021, or you
Or
were
I
20?
was 21.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And then, like came up with it. Arizona Filmmakers, I want to say, came up with it again, like not like officially started, but like building it out. I want to say like 25, 26.
Okay.
how old are you now?
I was going to ask that.
I'm 30.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
Wow.
About to be 31, but
When's your birthday?
November.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
You're
So
a
yeah, coming
Scorpio.
up.
Yes.
Yay.
Yeah. Okay. I never know. We both like.
I love guy Scorpios.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me and my wife went to San Antonio and we got our hands in like the wax,
Oh, that's
Cute.
cute.
and we just we can't move. So the person doing it to us, they're like, "So what are your guys' horoscopes?" She asked mine. Oh, Scorpio. For the next like 5 minutes, she just went off on Scorpios, and
I can't leave.
I'm like,
It's like this was the trap.
Yeah.
It was a trap.
That's
Yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah,
Dang.
but
So how with launching? I know like the first few years of entrepreneurship are always the hardest, and you launched Moneta really young. How long did it take for you to start seeing like some success from that?
probably took me 4 or 5 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
The reason for it is because I didn't build it to be a business. Like what I was really passionate about was like logo design and like branding and stuff like that. So I was
Gotcha.
like, oh, people want to pay me for my services, might as well create a brand around it because I know a little bit about it.
Yeah.
But I had no desire about entrepreneurship. I was one of those people who were forced into it because I had a passion for something.
Mm.
And because I didn't want to let go of that passion, like I was forced to learn about business. So yeah, it was really tough. Like, and especially coming from the mindset that I used to live in for the past, like, since I can remember, I've suffered with depression.
Mm.
So around the time my son was born is when I knew I had to make a shift. And around that time is also when I started Moneta.
Oh, so you were
Okay.
about 2021 when you had your first kid.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Because I knew, like, okay, I have a son now. I gotta step up and figure it out. So that's why I was like, okay, I'm gonna start a business and figure it out. But it was a lot of like hair pulling, pillow screaming, like just, I slept outside just because I thought I deserved the suffering. Like,
Stop.
Really?
No
Yeah,
way.
Like here in Phoenix?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
oh, geez.
It was rough.
like for like a version of like self-punishment in a way then. Oh, man.
Yeah. I've self-punished quite a bit.
Really?
Just because like, you're depressed, you're angry, and you're sad, and you don't have really a reason to be. Like when you think about it, you're like,
Right.
I have everything I need. Like, why am I suffering? And then you get angry, and you're like, I'll give myself a reason to suffer then.
Right.
Yeah. So
Where do you think that stemmed from? Like when you were growing up, did you have super entrepreneurial parents or no?
no, not at all. I didn't even understand like entrepreneurship. I didn't know what the word was until I started Moneta.
Okay.
My dad's in the military and my mom's a stay-at-home mom, and everybody else was like working. They were a working person. So having your own business was just foreign to me. I didn't even know freelance. Like I didn't know freelance existed. I know you could have a business, be the CEO of Nike,
Mm-hmm.
or you could work for Nike. Anything in between, I had no idea.
Right.
So it was really like tough to understand, like, where do I go? Who do I talk to?
Right.
How do I build this?
Yeah, because you can't really be taught how to do it. You can like watch all the videos all day and listen to
Yeah.
people talk all day, but when you're sitting with yourself trying to build something, it's all
Yeah, it's trial and
You-
error at that
yeah.
point because like that's the only teacher you have. And so yeah, my parents were like, go to school. I got my degree in biology. I was going to be a doctor.
Where does your journey with depression then start? Did you struggle with it as a kid, or was that something more in your teenage adult life, like after puberty and stuff type of thing? Did the depression really start kind of kicking in?
Yeah, so if you ask me like at 20, here's the shocking like truth that I really thought at 20. Even maybe 23. If you ask me how old I'd grow up to be, I would have told you maybe 30 max.
Really?
Yeah, I did not expect me to go long. I said, I'm going to try as long as I can, but I'm ready now. And that's how I felt since I was little. I've never really seen like joy in life. And I would hate this question. I'll go to the dentist, I would get cold sores and stuff, and that happens because of like stress.
Mm-hmm.
And the dentist would be like, are you stressing? Like, what's going on? I was like less than 10, like, are you stressing? Are you stressing at home? I was like, maybe, yeah. Like, and they're like, you're a kid. What do you have to
Yeah.
stress about? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm just stressing. Like, leave me alone. Like, I'm already, in my thoughts about it. But that's just a proof of like, when I was younger, I just had that like, here's another story actually to show, which I didn't recognize it was not wrong, but it was like a symptom. My favorite game when I was growing up was hide and seek,
Oh,
but by myself.
Dang, really?
Yeah,
who would you be hiding from?
from everybody.
Really?
I would be hiding and noticing if anybody would even notice that I was
Right.
there.
I've done that
Oh,
before,
you have
actually.
done it?
Yeah, I have done that.
Oh yeah, me too.
And I was just sitting there and I just waited and waited. I waited a whole day and
Mhm.
yeah, I just
Really?
sat there. I had nothing else to look forward to, so I just sat. And then when I noticed that no one's asked for me, I would just come out and just play. And I'm like, okay.
Really?
Yeah.
How old were you at this point?
I was at my second house, so I must have been younger than 12.
Yeah.
Okay. And was your family or parents aware of the stress or depression that you were starting to get into?
They knew, obviously there were signs that I was stressed out,
Mm-hmm.
but they didn't know that I was depressed or even suicidal.
Mm.
They didn't know until maybe like till I was 21. Um, that's actually the second time I tried to commit suicide.
Really?
Yeah, at 21, it was an incident because me and my girlfriend, wife, almost wife at the time, we had a breakup right when my son was born. My son was like the thing that changed me, why I wanted to live. And so when I thought I was going to see him anymore,
Mm.
Oh wow.
I thought,
There's no reason to live.
so that night I went to, okay, I'm getting over sickness.
Yeah.
Now choked up.
I went downtown. I went to a parking lot that I kind of would shoot at. And so I went all the way up and I looked at the sky and then I was just like, this isn't worth it. And then so I got on the tip of the thing and I saw the alleyway and I was like, yeah, I think if I just go head first, I can like, this could be quick. And then I just kept seeing my son over and over again. And I just stayed there. I don't know, didn't lose balance, but I just like threw myself back and I made it out.
Yeah.
But I was like ready
Like
to
threw
jump.
yourself back, like
Off
To
the
the-
ledge.
like
Yeah, to the
Like
parking
the parking lot.
Oh, okay. So
Off the ledge.
not
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I still threw myself, but
Yeah.
I don't remember what happened next, but I remember a lot of branches, a lot of metal, a lot of different things. The only thing I remember is coming home early in the morning and I was just bloody.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, so when you say you threw yourself, like you actually went over the edge, like the far
No,
end.
it's like I'm here
Yeah. You threw yourself.
and I threw myself back.
Oh, okay.
But then you like ran through
I
bushes
just
and stuff. Like
Bullshit. Yeah. I
yeah.
just
Oh, you
went
just like
and
ran through the book. Okay.
I don't even remember where I went. Middle of the desert, found
Yeah.
like a junkyard or something, and just started beating myself
Oh no.
to the point where like my whole face was just bloody.
Really?
And I came home in the morning, and I just said, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like I want to live, I want to survive for my son, but like where do I go from here? Because I don't see an end for years.
Yeah.
And so that's when my mom and dad were downstairs. I walk in, and they see me, and they just grab me and they're like, well, what's going on? What's going on? Who did this to you? And I
Yeah.
just said, I need help. And so that's the first time they ever saw something because
Yeah.
I held it for
And this
so
is already in
long.
your early 20s.
Yeah, I've held
Okay.
it for almost 20 years, like, just trying not to let people know that I suffered.
Yeah.
Wow.
What kind of help did you get when you asked them?
So many different, like,
Yeah.
talk to a shaman, talk to a lot of like therapists, which I don't like therapists.
Me neither.
No.
No.
Yeah, or therapists or counselors.
No.
No,
They
I'm
just
like
can never connect to you the right
they
way.
can't, and it feels like they're just listening. And how am I getting help?
Yeah.
So I read a lot of books. I just like I remember me and my wife having arguments and me just like exploding and just like again hurting myself, running away, turning off my locations, and like I don't want anyone to know. And at that point, like I had responsibilities, so
Right.
it wasn't as easy. But I remember like almost like in a corner, like just like try to fight my mind. Like it was just horrible to watch.
Yeah.
See,
Like if you were to explain like someone in a straitjacket in a mental institute, that's what I look like.
Right.
Trying to fight, going
Yourself.
to that other side
Yeah.
and staying here with the people I loved. So, another like story that helped me. The reason why I was able to go through it for so long. This is one of my favorite stories that I like realized a couple years ago. So when I was younger, I always wondered like, why am I suffering? Like why? Like I don't understand why I'm here to suffer. So I prayed to God, and I was like, it was right after I watched Passion of the Christ.
Mm.
So
Yeah,
I was
seen
like,
it.
yeah. So I
Yeah.
was like, yeah, Jesus suffered for other people. So I prayed to God. I said, please let my suffering be the reason why someone else is happy, why someone else is living a good life, and I'll try to live through it as much as I can.
Right.
So when I was hurting and I was like physically hurting and in my bed at night, um, I could just tell myself like this is for somebody. So come on, keep going.
Oh wow.
I love that.
And I cried when I realized this. I was at an event and they were talking about like self-healing and all this stuff. And they said that basically what I learned from that event is that my younger self, little David, was suffering so that I could be happy now.
Oh.
Oh,
I love that.
and I just thank him so much because, like, yeah, I am living such a great life, and I, I just want him to know that his suffering was for something.
Yeah.
I've come into
Oh
very
my God.
similar experiences too, because like my childhood, like childhood, like preteen and all that kind of stuff, it was good. 50-50 custody. So I saw both parents and stuff, and nothing was really like all that bad. But then like as soon as preteen hit is when like shit really started hitting the fan in life. And the amount of times that I was just kind of like mad at the world and stuff just because of this hand that I was dealt. This like life. I see how good of a life these other kids that I go to school with are having, and just all this goodness that they get to have. And I'm like, why the fuck do I have to do this? Like, even my own brother gets to live like this super awesome life
Really?
that I don't get to. Like, he didn't live with us, so he was living with his dad. Um, but so I was the one that was like suffering through it with my mom. And for the longest time, I just kept questioning. I'm like, why? And it was just like such a dark thing. But then like I had a very similar realization later on. I'm like, you know what? I'm glad that happened, because the amount of people that I've been able to connect to on those levels that you can't connect to unless you've been through
Mhm.
those kind of darkness, it was like a different level. Like whenever someone did come up to me with those suicidal ideations, I'm like, oh no, I understand 100% what you're thinking about.
Yeah.
Or like when they're trying to express their depression or something, I'm like, no, I know what the darkness looks like 100%. Or whatever abuse they went through, like I was able to talk to them from a personal standpoint instead of just like a sorry to hear that, bud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I had people, which I don't blame them, like if
Yeah.
you haven't gone through it, like I can't expect you to understand, but they're like, yeah, people who think about suicide or commit it, they're losers and
Yeah.
they're this and that. And I'm like,
You have no idea
damn,
how hard it
I was
is.
about
Yeah.
to share with you, but never
Yeah.
mind. I'm not gonna.
So you said in your early 20s was your second time. How old was your first time? Like how old were you on your
Oh,
first
man.
attempt? If you
Yeah, no,
I know it's a kind of a iffy subject and
it's
stuff to
funny
get
because
into, but
it's been a while since I haven't talked about it, so I'm kind of fuzzy on the age. But I was, so second house, older than 6, younger than 12.
really,
Really?
Mhm.
wow.
And yeah, I remember grabbing a knife after everyone went to bed, and then hopping the fence. There was a fence that we lived at that just was in the middle of nowhere. So like it would take a while for someone to figure out like where I was at. And then yeah, I was just ready, like how far I can like
Push it?
push it.
Yeah.
I did have some scrapes and stuff like that. And after, like, it's only twice, but afterwards I did like hurt myself a lot. And I would just tell my mom and dad like, oh, we were wrestling with the neighbors and stuff like that. We were rough housing, but that one, yeah, that was with a knife. I was ready, and I was just at the neck. Yeah,
Really?
yeah. And at the time, I didn't know what I was doing, but um, yeah, I was like in and out of consciousness, like just fighting it and stuff like that.
Do you remember your mindset or the thoughts that were kind of going through your head at this point? Because I know for a lot of people it stems from trauma. Like maybe they're beaten or abused or something like that. I don't know what kind of trauma you might have had growing up, but do you know what was kind of like leading you to these thoughts?
It's funny because we were talking about this earlier, and I don't know if I have symptoms. I definitely have symptoms when I've researched and did my research that I have symptoms of trauma, but I can't remember anything.
Hmm.
Which is like, when you go through that, you disassociate.
Right.
And so I disassociate quite a bit throughout things like, for the longest time, even sometimes at the events, I can't process the joy and the happiness that's going on. I feel like it feels like I don't deserve it. And I just start looking at it from a third perspective. Like I
Right.
disassociate from it and just like look at everything. So even at like a dinner table with family, everyone's laughing. As soon as it gets kind of fun, I disassociate. So I learned like disassociation is like a symptom that you picked up when you were traumatized.
Yeah.
Other things like that, but I have no memory of what that could be.
Hmm.
But I did suffer from loneliness,
Mm,
Hmm.
and which is a real thing.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, absolutely.
yeah, like some
Well,
people,
especially in those developmental ages to
Yeah.
where like you're the most social, you're learning
yeah,
by your environment.
Yeah,
And so
exactly. Um, man, it's funny now. It's so funny, but just back then, like that, this is where my mom actually noticed like there's something wrong with me. I would play by myself, and I would have fun playing by myself, but I always chose to play by myself.
Hmm.
But if I had to play with other kids, I would. But eventually, they would start to like wing off of me, like they didn't want to play, and I
Really?
didn't understand why. Um, but yeah, I noticed that when you suffer from loneliness for a long period of time, like a chronic loneliness, your mind starts to actually like, I don't know if break is the right word, but it starts to like try to fix itself because loneliness is being like surrounded by people, belonging is like a survival thing for humans.
Yeah.
They need to be around people in order to survive, like biologically.
yeah.
So when you're lonely, you're basically, it's like your brain is saying like something's wrong. You
Right.
need to like restructure your brain. But I even remember having like a 10-year-old birthday or something. I was like, I have a lot of friends at school now. I'm gonna invite them all to my birthday. Told my mom to get a balloon guy to make balloon animals. We got a trampoline. We got all this stuff. Told my cousins to come. Like I told my mom, like invite everybody. We're gonna have a big birthday party. The only person that showed up was my mom's friend and her son.
Really?
Stop.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And I didn't understand it. I didn't understand, like, I didn't even want to ask my friends the next day,
Right.
like, hey,
What happened?
none of you guys came. Like,
Yeah.
so, and it was funny because I was telling my mom's friend's son, like, hey, you know what's the best part of today is like, we get to eat all the candy because it's going to be all ours, you know? And then my mom's like, all right, just one candy bag each. All right. We don't want you guys getting sugared down. Like,
At least you saw the positive in that.
I tried to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Eventually, it was hard to. But yeah, I didn't understand like even at youth groups, thinking that I would find my tribe there. I would text the group like, hey, what are we doing tonight? Or what's going on this weekend? What's this and that? I would text like people like by themselves, even like a crush I had, I would text her. And then she would be like, eventually she just texted me back saying, hey, I don't understand why you can't take a hint, but we just don't want to hang out.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Did they ever tell you why they didn't want your company?
No, they didn't.
Or-
But like outside perspective,
Yeah.
third party, like I don't understand that. So I'm neurodivergent, like on the spectrum. So I don't understand social cues. So I really like appreciate an outside perspective
Yeah.
on
Right.
how I come across, or like in general.
Yeah, how people are like reacting to you. Because you've
Yeah.
asked me a few times, like, is everyone having fun? I'm like, yes.
Is it weird for me to ask that, or
No,
is
like,
it?
no,
I-
I know you now,
Yeah.
I do that disassociation stuff too. I started in my early 20s and it pissed me off because I'm like,
Why can't I enjoy it?
I want to be
Yeah.
present. I was suffering with not being able to be present, and it was pissing me off because I'm like, I want to be able, like, when I was younger, I could enjoy being present. I could enjoy whatever we were doing in that moment
Yeah.
and really enjoying that. And I started doing super cool stuff in my early 20s, and I couldn't enjoy it because I'm like not in my own brain. I'm just like, my body is an autopilot
Yeah.
and my brain's in a different spot.
I think it's because like you had to grow up and have responsibilities and stuff.
Yeah.
Like for you, like you're putting together the whole event, so you can't enjoy it because like what if something's missing or what if something's wrong? Like
Yeah.
you're working the whole time. It's not fun for you because
Yeah.
you're,
Right.
you know.
Yeah, I mean, I also feel like because even at the dinner table example is like, I just feel like I didn't deserve to be happy.
Right.
You know, like, oh,
I've
I'm just
felt
getting
that.
too happy. Yeah. And
Yeah.
they're like, oh, I should. How do I look right now?
Right.
Am I weird or am I? Was this a corny joke that I made? Like, you just start to question it from the third. What kind of helps me now is thinking everything is a game, like a simulation thing. Is
Yep.
all right, now we're at the dinner table. Let's start the fun conversation.
Real life
thing.
My Sims.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, and that's how my brain kind of sees it. It has
Yeah.
to like play out these different scenarios. Like it's not normal, but it's how I.
That's
Okay.
cool though, because you like are the entertainer at that point.
Right.
Yeah.
You're like, you know,
Yeah.
the life of the party and you don't even know it.
Yeah, exactly. And it's so funny that you brought up me asking like, is everyone having a good time? Because my wife brings that up. Like, I host like a family game night or something. At the end of the night, I'm like, do you think everyone had fun? What about him? What about her? And she's like, yes. Why would you ask me that?
Yeah.
I didn't know I did it outside of that too.
You did, yeah.
That's so funny.
I just realized I do the same thing, but for different reasoning. Because for me, it's more of a trust thing. I feel like people faking it around me. So I have to ask around because like it looks like people are having fun, but in the past, I've done stuff and people are trying to, I ended up getting that I didn't want to hurt your feelings. So we were doing this. And so a lot of times, like I'm overly trying to analyze to see if people are having fun or if
I
like,
think we do though. I think we have that same thing.
yeah, because I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm just kind of looking around. And I'm like, are they really though? Like, I
Yeah.
don't know. This doesn't seem like it's as fun. Like, I don't get the dopamine rush right now. I'm not having like this bunch of adrenaline and all this, so they must not be feeling it either.
Right.
And they're faking it. They're just trying to make me feel good. They're just trying to be like, okay, all of them are trying to fit in their next plan. They're texting their friends, seeing what to do next and stuff. Because I had it happen before.
Yeah.
I had people before that, like, I'd invite, like, I remember there was this one time, there was a girl, I liked her a lot, and I invited her to go to a bonfire with me. And it wasn't like a huge, like, high school thing. It was just me and a few friends. It wasn't like anything huge. And immediately I felt like red flags because she was a beautiful girl, way out of my league and stuff. And I was just like, okay, cool. And she said, yeah. And I was like, oh, sweet. And this is like after high school and stuff. And so I pick her up, I bring her over there and stuff. And I'm like, okay, cool. And like, I think that we're having a good time and everything. Like 20 minutes into it, she's like, hey, can you take me to this party? And I'm like, yeah, absolutely. And I go there and then she's like, okay. And then so we go to this other party and then immediately she just disappears. And I'm like,
Give it the taxi.
yeah.
This is like high school girl thing. To
I
do.
know. I was just like,
Is that a high school girl?
Yeah.
Someone
I
did
did that to
me.
my prom date. No, because he didn't pay for dinner. He didn't like do anything for me, and so I was like, I'm going home. And then I went to a party, and he was there.
yeah.
Oh my. That's funny. It's all part of the plot.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Sorry.
There was a part that I wanted to kind of touch back on though, with like the thing with the other kids not wanting to hang out with you, because I've been on both sides of that. I've been on that side of being part of the kids who are just like, we don't like him, we don't want to be hanging out with him. But I've also been the one that's been secluded from, and I'm like, I don't understand what I did. And this is before I knew about my anxiety disorder. I knew about depression. I didn't understand why my brain didn't seem to be operating the same as other people. I've never been diagnosed as being on the spectrum or anything, but in taking that into account for kids, they are still trying to get to know their environment. They're still trying to understand their own social cues and stuff. And so when there's someone else in their clan, in their circle, that isn't understanding that, for them, that's weird. For them, they're like, okay, why is this one kid just not understanding when this is happening, or not taking the jokes the same way that we are, or not saying the jokes the same way that we are, or his timing is off, like all these different things that like now we understand, like, oh, okay, we understand what the spectrum is now because we understand a little bit more mental health. But when we're younger, we're not taught about autism. We're not taught about spectrum. We're not taught about anything like that.
Yeah.
We're learning how to be social and stuff. And so we're learning from adults of like timing of jokes or humor, or like when is it okay to joke about this, or when is it okay to say this, or when is it not an appropriate time to be messing with somebody type of thing. And so if you're already not doing that, there's like a certain, because I didn't understand, I'm like, I just don't like his presence. I can't explain it.
That was
Right.
everybody around me.
Yeah, I was like,
Aw.
we don't like him for some reason. And
Yeah.
for me, I'm like, I don't know why. But then like as I grow up, I'm like, oh, is this because it was hard for him to take social cues? It was hard for
Yeah.
him to understand like when we're joking, or like,
Yeah.
oh, when he's doing this or when he's going too far. And I remember doing that, and like I feel bad. When I look back on that, I'm just like,
Right.
I didn't realize that he just had Asperger's or something.
Yeah.
Or that he just
Well, how
had
are you supposed to know?
I know.
back
Yeah,
then?
yeah,
Yeah.
it's just not taught to us at
It
that young
builds,
age.
builds character if they make it.
Yeah.
Just kidding. Just kidding.
I
I
was
mean-
always the one that like would make friends with the weird kids.
Yeah.
'cause
Yeah?
I didn't want them to feel left out or
Oh,
anything.
yeah.
Like I just, for some reason, I still do that. Like
Yeah.
people are like standing alone at a party or something, especially the APA mixers, because I know people like come and they don't know anybody.
Yeah.
And
I
I
get-
see them.
Yeah, I mean, I get, even for me, I get like intimidated because it's
Yeah.
like there's filmmakers there.
Yeah.
There's filmmakers there.
Yeah.
So I'm like, shoot, but
Yeah.
that's so
I
good
just
that
go
you
up
do
to
that.
everyone and I'm like, hey, like, come on in, we love you. Even
Yeah.
though all of those people probably hate them.
Well, and I feel like it's
it's like there's one person that's smiling. Like,
Yeah.
I think that there's different stigmas around all of it now too, because now that there is a little bit more awareness around mental health and stuff,
yeah.
when we see that person that's just in the corner by themselves, if you rewind 10, 20 years, you look at that person, who the fuck is this person? Why are they
Yeah.
here? What are they like? We look at them as weird. Now we look
Right.
at them as like, I understand exactly what's going through your
Right.
head. Like towards like I remember when I was getting into high school, I told my mom, I'm like, I want to specifically look for that kid that's like at lunch by himself doing
Mhm.
that, and to do
I'd
that.
go sit with them.
Yeah,
That was me.
I told my
Really?
mom
I would.
doing that, and like from her experience in school, she's like, "Don't, no. If you can try to be like in the popular kids a
Oh,
little
really?
bit, try to do that." I'm like, "No, I want to try to like become friends with that one kid, because it's always that one kid that ends up being like the most." And that's kind of how I ended up being.
Yeah.
I was, I don't want to say outcasted in high school, but I definitely wasn't like the popular kid.
Mhm.
I grew up in a small town, so everyone knew each other, but I wasn't like part of that. Then after high school, started my first company, just throwing the biggest parties that the entire city's ever seen. And it was like all the jocks and like all the popular kids from high school, like, yo, what's up? What's up? And I'm like,
We were not friends before.
Yeah, yeah.
wait, you know who I am?
I get that. I get that now too. It's
Yeah.
like, hey, what's up? I was like, you were not friendly.
Yeah.
You know, don't get me wrong. In high school and growing up, I've always wanted to be the popular kid.
Mm,
Mhm.
So much so, I was like, I'm chasing that.
Yeah.
right.
So, not that I neglected the other kids, but I didn't understand why to neglect somebody. So I
Right.
just talked to whoever.
Mhm.
But I always try to put myself into the popular kids. And then to one point, again, another little story is like my best friend, he was like, hey, we're all having a party. And then I overheard, I was like, what? You guys having a party? What's going on? Yeah, you know, it's me.
Yeah.
It's
Yep.
me. And he's like, he actually specifically said not to invite you.
Oh,
I'm
my
sorry,
God.
man. I was like, what do you
Whoa.
mean? He's like, he said you're weird, but like not the good kind.
What
I've-
the fuck?
I've had that.
Yeah. I was like, what's
I've had that.
There's a bad
That's-
weird.
Oh my god.
I've had that in this industry. In
Oh,
the
really?
industry that we work in, I've had that. And I just had to be like, you know what? Like, I had to take on the thing of, I'm just not everyone's cup of tea.
Mm.
I know my intentions. And I had to like build that mentality of like, I know what my intentions are. If someone else doesn't see that, like, I'm sorry, whatever I did came across that way. But if also you're not going to be mature enough to be an adult and say, hey, this made me uncomfortable, needed this, then like, I'm not, obviously, I have no bad intention.
Yeah.
So either you be an adult and come tell me, or I'm just gonna do my own thing. So, but I had to build into that.
There's a lot of assumptions.
Yeah.
You know, in our and everywhere, like in life, like
Mhm.
people make assumptions without even knowing because they get a weird vibe or they get a vibe in general, and then they start
Right.
making assumptions. So if there's a rule, number one rule, where's my camera?
Yeah.
Number one rule: don't make assumptions, and if you have to make assumptions, make the positive assumption.
Right.
That's like number one. That's helped me, and that's why I get texts saying you can't take a hint.
Yeah.
You know, like I'd rather
Yeah.
not take the hint
Right.
and assume that they love me.
Yeah.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, it's all my perception. So if I can just feel like everyone loves me, I'm a happy, I'm happy.
There's an irony as well that I've kind of realized. We're in an industry it's an artistic industry. Typically, the people that have gotten into these kinds of things are not the typically like super popular. Like when I was in school, the theater kids were not the popular kids.
Yeah.
No.
The actors were not the popular ones. The filmmakers were not the popular ones. So we're like the weirdos that were like,
artists.
yeah. And now it's like,
Now we're the cool kids.
yeah, I'm like the people that are trying to be actors are like the ones that were the jocks in high school. I'm like, no, fuck you. You had your stardom. You had your time.
You
Fuck
peaked
you.
in high school. Bro.
Yeah, I'm like, no, this is my fucking chance. No, get the fuck out of here. I'm like, no.
That's so funny. I have like a bunch of jocks and stuff hitting me up now. They're like, "You're so cool now," and I'm like, "We were not friends back then."
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
I'm like, no.
It's nice that you said that. But
You enjoy a little finance bro shit, your
Yeah.
fraternity time. You had your time, and now you get to live your
That's so
boring
weird.
life. Now it's
Yeah.
my time to fucking shine. So go fuck
No,
yourself.
man. Yeah. It's funny. My mom always told me that too. It's like, hey, it's gonna change.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
change. Yeah.
I feel like it has changed. Like I feel like everyone that I know in our life together like loves you.
Yeah.
You know, how do you feel now?
So here's a cool exercise maybe we could try. But I think that I've learned how to present myself and not go overboard to the point where I could like stand on this fine line of like being likable, but not taking chances or risks in relationships, which sucks, but it's the only way I've learned so far. Maybe I'll evolve later on, but again, I don't know how my perception is with other people.
Right.
Sometimes if I'm making assumptions, because everyone makes assumptions, like wrong ones, it's just your choice if you want to listen to them or not. But sometimes those wrong ones, it's telling me that people think I don't like them, or I'm not reaching out too much, or I'm not trying to like build a relationship with them.
Right.
But it's just me being safe and just not trying to
Overstep.
yeah, being too much.
Yeah.
Like, I've been called like you're too much, like you're weird, like, so I just
You're hitting all the buttons for me right now.
Am I?
Yeah.
Dude, I don't get that from you at all.
No?
Yeah.
like yeah, so like even people think me and Stefan have this like super strong relationship,
Mhm.
but I can't even let that relationship get too close.
Right.
Like, he knows, like he reaches out like, hey man, like let's do this. I'm like, hey, I'm just gonna take it easy, or like Rich, he thought both of them came over to my house, and then he's like, oh man, so this is your home studio, like Stefan must be in here every day.
Yeah.
And Stefan's like, no, this is the first time I've been
Yeah.
here.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's like, that's like, yeah, it's not that I want to, but it's just safer for me, and
Yeah.
I don't know how that's being perceived to other people.
Right.
So
So
I'm happy that people like me, you know,
Yeah.
but I always wonder that.
sounds like it's just like a certain attachment thing then, because
Yeah.
I mean, I have the same thing, like especially in the dating world. That one's. I mean, especially with
Sorry,
like
Bobby.
being in the
What's
dating
the-
world, it's like you never know, especially these days, when you're too much. And like the whole thing with like, oh, don't text back the first 24 hours. You're going to see
Oh,
desperate type
man,
of
my
stuff.
head would be spinning if I
Yeah.
had a date right now.
Yeah,
No, it's awful.
it gets horrible. So whether that or like because I have the same thing, if I meet like a new friend on set or something, or if there's like someone that I perceive as higher value than myself, I have to try to like, okay, how do I time this? I want to talk to them, I want to ask them stuff, but like, how do I do this to where I'm not overwhelming them or whatever? And then like, I just end up completely forgetting. And the amount of times it's like, oh, well, you just don't reach out. I'm like, I want to reach out every fucking day, every minute of every day. But
Literally, I just text people when I want to talk to them. I
Yeah.
like don't have like I'm not
An
like I'm not
agenda,
gonna
like,
wait 24 hours.
I wish I
or-
could be
Yeah.
that confident.
I just don't even think about it. I'm just like, hey, I have an idea to text you, and then
Okay.
they respond.
I'm curious too
Yeah.
now. So this is the kind of exercise if you guys want to
Sure.
participate. But
Yeah,
I'm always asking for like that outside perspective feedback
right.
that I probably would have not thought. So what do you guys think of me? And honest truth. Like I don't get offended at all. What do you guys think of me? What are my flaws, or what do you think? Like, how did I first come off? Like anything like that. Anything you can give me.
I'm gonna let you start on this
Okay.
one. Yeah.
And be honest, like
Yeah.
like look at my flaws. Like even if they're assumptions, like I think you pee the bed. Like you know what I mean? Like
Well, I just like have never thought of flaws with you just because like we have like a business relationship just with Arizona filmmakers and stuff.
Yeah.
And that's how we've always like been around each other. So I haven't like gotten to know you personally to know negativities. But like I just know you as like a super caring person that shows up for everybody and you do so much like to the detriment of your own life to create this community for all of us, you know? And like it's kind of interesting that you say that you like were lonely as a child because now you created this entire community that has like 5,000 people or more,
Yeah.
you know, and like you're literally the reason why it exists. So like I can't even think of a negativity besides like I wish like we could all do more for you, you know, because like you're spread so thin.
Yeah. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's all I have. I can't.
Really?
I don't have anything negative. Like now hearing you, it's like, I mean, I wish that you could allow more people in more so that we could care for you more
Okay.
instead of protecting yourself like that.
All right, we're getting somewhere.
Yeah.
With that.
Yeah.
Like maybe it's like I don't trust or I don't like.
I feel like you're protecting yourself because of like the past like depression that you've had is like you don't want people to know that happened to you probably and like and if you're going through it now you don't want someone to find out. Yeah. And then them take it the wrong way and not help you.
Almost like I can see this too. Maybe this is it. I'm exploring. We're exploring like, deep in because you know I don't know what I come across on the outside.
Yeah.
It's like I'm scared to like. It's great when I have these big events because people are getting bite-sized chunks of me,
Right.
and they're not digging deep. So I'm scared to have these more intimate relationships with even the community partners or Stefan, because if they find out, then I'll lose everything.
Right. Yeah, and that's where that like anxious attachment kind of comes from. Of like, if you knock down your walls too much, you're gonna be too vulnerable, and then you're gonna get hurt. You're trying to save yourself from being hurt.
That's what's so cool about this podcast, though, is that like even just my first episode when I was like, well, here's my story, because I wanted to tell my story for years.
Yeah.
Just so people could understand me better. I was like, either everyone's going to hate this and hate me, or like, I don't know what's going to happen. And everyone was so grateful that I talked about my problems.
All the positive feedback.
Yeah. Because like, there's people that probably watched it that are like, wow, she's like an asshole, you know, talking shit about me, you know. But the people that came to me afterwards, like, were so moved and like they reach out to me now. And like a couple of the people who have been guests on the podcast, so I'm like really good friends with them now.
Yeah.
And I hadn't met them before they came onto the podcast. So like I think, I mean, even just this, like now I've gotten to know you more. So like it's just, you have to be careful who you tell things to. For sure. But like with the community partners, as an example, they're all dudes. But like,
and I was like thinking we need more women. I mean, what about Camila?
Well, that's okay. I'm not saying like that part.
Yeah.
But since they're all dudes, they probably aren't like as like deeply emotional.
That's true.
Creatures. But just even them showing up for you as the Arizona filmmakers community partners, like shows a little bit more initiative of their care. That maybe that's a good place to start, you know?
You know what's actually really hard for me is being in this position and knowing just true intentions, agendas and things like that. Like you'll have people who reach out, like the community partners, and luckily I got to know them enough to like trust them. Well, you have other people who will reach out and then just say they want to help all this stuff. And then completely, as soon as they're in or something, not any examples that I could think of, but they just want to take as much as they can. I'm just like, all right, man, I'm giving you everything, but like, what? Like,
yeah, that's what's hard about like being in charge of people, just even on set too, is like you want people that will just do it on their own and like pass it off instead of having to like tell them every step of the way. I think that's what we're having an issue with right now. Because everyone wants stuff to happen, but then we're like, David, what's next? And you're like, I need to build my business and be around my family.
Exactly. Especially this year.
Yeah.
All right, Alex. Your turn. Come on, give it to me.
My perspective has definitely changed of you.
Okay.
Especially just in the last little bit that we've been talking. I remember when I first met you, I was like interested in who you were, but it was kind of just like, oh, who's this other like entrepreneur? Who's this other guy in the film industry? I think I tried reaching out one or two times and didn't like hear back or anything. And then immediately like just that kind of ego side of me immediately put that whole thing in my head of like, oh, like he just thinks he's better than everybody or kind of that kind of thing. And
Yeah.
it wasn't anything like on you specifically. It's just that's how I've kind of looked at people of higher value.
And again, this is all about how people perceive me from
Exactly.
the outside. So,
yeah. And then
keep
like I
going.
see you on these podcasts, I see you doing this, I see you doing that. I'm like, who the fuck is this guy that thinks like he's like all crazy, blah, blah, blah. And then like getting to hear you more though, I'm like, now everything clicks so much more because I'm the exact same way. Like the whole thing was like not like the amount like I was thinking that way with you not reaching out to me. However, the amount of people that I have yet to respond to still or that something like that. And I'm like, I wonder how now they think of me.
Yeah.
I wonder like what kind of boat they put me in if like they think that my head's up in the clouds or something or that I'm better than them. Like not that I ever thought that you were better than me, but it was like like I've always lived with a competition type of mindset. Like everyone, especially other men, were always in competition. It's ruined friendships for me because no matter what, even if it's like not a competing industry, I always felt like I had to be in competition with another man for an opportunity. Like the opportunity was limited, and so if he got it, I don't get it now.
Yeah.
And you being in a similar industry as me, immediately like the first thing I go to is like competition.
Yeah.
And which is something I've been trying to work on myself for the past like 10, 15 years. But I was also a younger brother, and my older brother, he was always that like jock of the school and the one that all the girls liked, and like he was the one that like I was always in his shadow. And so I kind of grew up with that like, competition mindset. And then like every friend that I had growing up was better than me at everything. And so I was always trying to keep up with them and stuff. And so it's always been like, whether it's in my acting career, looking at other actors and I'm like, oh, why are they getting this? I'm like, well, he is also a 6'5" black guy. That probably wasn't the right role for me type of thing.
I was still competitive.
Yeah. I'm like, how dare you not cast me in this role when you're specifically looking for something that I'm not type of thing, you know?
That's good. That's good. That kind of brings me to my second point.
Yes.
Is what I learned and what's helped me kind of go through this is that no matter what anyone thinks of me from the outside, you almost always has to do with themselves.
Yeah.
Right.
Because people, what's the word? Not selfish, maybe selfish. People just think about themselves.
Yeah.
So when they're thinking about other people, they're thinking about how do they fit in your box?
Well, they're always
Right.
trying to protect themselves.
Yeah.
We live in protection for ourselves.
Yeah. And so that's what I learned. So when it's growing Arizona filmmakers, everyone had so many opinions just everywhere. But
Mhm.
I learned that no matter what they think of me or whatever, perception, I know it reflects back on, like it's something that they're going through.
Right.
And same thing with me when I start judging other people, when I start thinking about other people, or comparing or doing all that stuff, it's like, where am I mentally? Where am I at? Okay, I'm probably like thinking negatively, and let's reorganize those thoughts.
Right.
But that's cool. I wonder. I thought about like, am I coming off as like arrogant or?
Well,
I never got that.
It's not
No?
the fact that I thought you were coming off as arrogant. Like I said, it was my own personal vendetta with like, there's another guy. It's like the whole alpha male kingdom type of thing to where like we always kind of feel like we're in competition with one another, or like and I still feel like this with almost every guy that doesn't talk to me or something, is just like they think that they're better than me, or like I'm not of value enough to them to be part of their circle type of thing.
Yeah.
And that's just my own vendetta, my own mind, my own thing. So it had nothing to do with like you.
Yeah, absolutely.
You were doing your own thing. You've been doing your own thing, but that's just been like my own insecurity that I've had to try to get over. So
I do know that there's just like groups in Arizona that all like hate on each other.
mhm.
And so when Arizona Filmmakers was being grown, the like commercial filmmakers and like actual like movie filmmakers were like, I'm never gonna go to an event because they're all like videographers that own their own businesses. So why would I need to go to that? And it's like, it's just for fun. It's like we're not trying to be any type of way.
Yeah.
But now, like literally at the last red carpet event, some of the biggest like G&E guys were there,
Yeah.
and I was like,
Oh,
look who
Yeah.
we got, dude. So we got them. And
Yeah.
that's just what like sticking to your plan does. Like if people will hate you in the beginning because they don't know who you are. They're like, who do you think you are coming in like this out of nowhere? But you've built such an amazing community that they can't hate anymore.
Yeah.
Like what it's not going anywhere.
And here, this is what if you want to build something big like that against because I knew going into it took me 2 years to kind of fully think about Arizona filmmakers before I even reached out to Stefan or anything. Everybody, all my small circle that I had said, like, you're going against the grain or against the current, you know,
Right.
and like entrepreneurship, creating community with entrepreneurship. They want to invest in community. They want to invest in their network.
Right.
Filmmakers will rather invest in gear, invest in like, creating their specs or their short films. Like, why would
Mhm.
they spend money on a community?
Right.
And especially in Arizona, there's no community here. There's small. It's like everyone has their own cliques. So going into it, I knew like, oh, this is going to be
It's gonna be hard.
This is going to be hard. Yeah.
Yeah.
But what I had the intention, and I left out any what's the word? Expectations or it's not going the way I planned it.
Right.
I pivoted. It's fine. My intention is still to build something that people love and want to be a part of and can connect with. So as long as you have the intention when you're building something, like you could go through
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Eventually you'll build something.
I want to touch a little bit more on the depression stuff as this is therapy session.
Yeah.
Um,
I was thinking it was like resiliency.
yeah.
Having to like push through haters like that and
Yeah.
all that.
Oh,
Like,
absolutely.
And I wouldn't even say resilient. I feel like my dad said I was resilient, and that kind of helped me get through. I was like, I am resilient, but I'm a big baby, you know.
I think
I'm
most
a
of us men are.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
a crybaby. I'm like, man, I'm not tough, but reprogramming my brain to think of these things differently
Yeah.
is what really helped me through, going through all those challenges and even depression.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I did want to ask, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
You were saying that you would like self-harm, like beat yourself up and stuff. Do you still do that? Do you like punish yourself still?
no,
No.
I have it in, I think maybe secretly I did maybe like 3 years ago, but I haven't since that big incident when I tried to jump off.
Yeah.
That was the last one because that was the most I've ever self-harmed.
Yeah.
Like, my face was just bloody.
Do you still punish yourself?
Like sleep outside, like,
Yeah, you know
stuff.
what
Well,
I mean. Like
not even, like, going
I'll
that far,
Sleep
but-
in the closet
No.
in the dark. Yeah.
Really?
No, I haven't done it in a while. But
Yeah.
like, I've like, you know what? I'm gonna grab my pillow and I'm like, what am I doing? I'm trying to get myself comfortable here. I'm like,
Yeah.
I just might as well just go back to bed.
Yeah.
But I'm like feeling like down, and I'm like, I'm gonna go back to my old ways and sleep on like a corner of a closet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then when I bring my pillow along, it brings me out of it. I'm like, what am I doing?
Yeah. Well, that's good.
Yeah. So I'm much better now, and it's all the tools. I mean, you saw Bonnie. I've worked with her for a long time, and she's been incredible to help me give me tools on how to understand why I think this way, and that nothing is wrong or right.
Mhm.
I might have dyslexia, but that doesn't mean it's bad. You just
Right.
gotta flip the coin and look at it. Why is it good?
Right.
I think in pictures, I can't not see numbers or letters in my head. Completely black. Like I could see maybe 3 letters and then it starts disappearing.
Whoa.
Mm.
Yeah. but
Interesting.
I see in like 3D vivid, like I close my eyes, I can recreate what I'm looking at.
Cool.
So that's why I feel like film has really
kind
did
of
what I do.
caters off of that.
Yeah, exactly. Because I can see as I'm writing my scripts, I can see it. And then when I get to set, I can be like, oh, actually, the angle was a little more different than what I see in my head. Or, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
So some people would focus on the negativity of dyslexia and be like, I'm never going to be anything. I focused on the positive and started drawing comic books of biology notes.
Oh,
And-
that's so cool.
And so when I would take tests, I would see comic strips of the mitochondria, whatever. You
Yeah.
know what
So
I
you
mean?
can remember it better. That's cool.
Exactly.
That's dope.
So every single thing has its positive and negative.
Yeah.
So it's your job to do the research. And for example, being competitive and comparing yourself is actually it's a sign of intelligence. So,
Okay. All right.
so yeah, you can focus on like the negativity side of it where you're always comparing yourself and you're always, judging others and
Right.
seeing where you fall. But it's just a way of your brain saying, how can I survive? Because I need to survive.
Yeah.
So intelligently, I have that issue too. What I do is I'm just a big fan of people. I turn the hate. To be able to hate, you have to love. So I just turn that hate into like fan and passion. When I see someone that's better than me, I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to meet this guy. Like I need to get to know how he does it. I get obsessed and I'm like, okay, I noticed his color grading was like this. Let me just do that. I try to find ways to like position myself a little higher so I can meet them. I'm a big fan.
Yeah.
And I approach the people as a big fan instead of like, they're my competition.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Interesting. I like that.
Yeah. I
You just
think
gotta,
that's a good thing
you
to
gotta,
do.
yeah, you gotta approach it with like honest love.
That you want them to be your peers too.
Right.
Instead of like hating on them.
It's healthy to have competition. That's what I talk about with Arizona filmmakers. Is like the more competition, like the more competition you have, the better everybody gets.
Yeah.
Right.
You know
Exactly.
Because you wanna compete with each other.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's how you build the industry up more.
Yeah, exactly.
With depression, I was asked by a friend a while back this question, and first of all, it boggled me because I didn't realize that there's still people that don't really deal with depression.
So I was saying, I know.
It like
Yeah.
boggles me. Like this guy, I consider him basically like my brother, but he's never dealt with depression or anything. And he asked me like, "What is depression? Like, what's the difference between that and like sadness and stuff? And like, how would you describe it?" And for me, it was like the hardest thing because it's such more of a feeling than like a physical description. Like it was so hard for me to figure out how to describe what the depression was, of just like, I'm not just sad. It's not just sadness for me. It's so much more than just this feeling of just being sad. So with you, I'm curious of how you would like, to someone who has no idea what depression is, who is curious about it and wants to learn more about it, how would you describe what depression is to that person?
To describe, like, if it's an alien person who is almost a robot, doesn't feel emotions. Oh my gosh, now that I think of it that way, it's almost like it's almost a blessing to feel that. And when I'm thinking about like this robot that doesn't have emotions and is asking what that feels like,
Yeah.
but dang, that just made me think about that. You know what I mean? Like, that's really cool that we get to feel those types of emotions, that spectrum of like, feeling. Because I don't know about you, but deep down, sometimes I'm like thinking about like, I remember those times where my body ached a certain way that you can't really get anywhere else. And it's not that I miss it, but it's like, wow, I felt that.
Yeah.
But I think depression is almost like, like sadness, but then you add layers of like feeling like there's no hope, feeling like I don't know. I just describe it like almost like visuals. Like it feels like a dark blanket over you, and it's hard to like get out,
Yeah.
But I know how to get out now. But it does feel like that. When you're in it, you're just like, you don't want to move, you don't want to get up. There's no point to anything. And I don't think that's sadness. Sadness, you know, you're sad about some stuff, but you can still move about and do things. Depression, you really just don't have any life in you.
Yeah. No, I agree. And that's kind of like, I feel like sadness is more of an emotion and depression's more a state of being. It kind of takes over your whole body. Like when I'm depressed, a lot of times it's not just like me being sad. It's I know I'm in a depression because like my sleep schedule is a certain way, my appetite's a certain way, my motivation's just like there's like a lot more. Like it's more of like I have to check in with myself rather than just like, oh, I'm just kind of depressed. Like it's an encompassing type of thing, like this thing that's just like enclosing you, like this encapsulating you, and it's like trying to hold you in, and it's like something that's completely like there's like a leech that's just taking this energy, this light, and it's like this black hole that's just like right behind you. It's sucking everything out. That's like the best way that I can like describe it to somebody that like, oh, I have no idea. Like, yeah, I feel sad sometimes, but I don't know if that's depression necessarily.
Yeah, I think because everyone feels sadness,
right?
But I think some people are, you know, very lucky to be raised with really healthy mindsets, which I didn't even know what mindsets were, you know, like you could tell, you know, growing up, like it just had a horrible mindset.
Right.
But I think that when they start to feel sad, because in biology, they say that depression is just like the common cold. You're going to get it. You're going to go through it. There's no way around it. And then you're better. But some people with their mindsets go through it and then they feed into it, you know, instead of getting your sleep, you go outside in the rain, or, you know, instead of like taking your medicine, you're out there drinking. And so that's kind of what some people do. And then it becomes like chronic depression.
Right.
So instead of like naturally helping yourself to go through the process, you're digging your hole deeper.
Which is hard to get out of when you are depressed.
Yeah.
In certain cases.
Because you don't have the energy to get yourself out.
Yeah, you don't want to.
You don't. Yeah. It's easier to be in it than to try to get out of it.
And then feeling better feels weird.
Yeah.
So you like want to feel sad again.
Yeah.
It feels like foreign. It's like there's no reason to be feeling like this. The only thing that makes sense right now is for this darkness.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when your friend said like he probably doesn't experience depression, maybe it's because he does have that healthy mindset that allows him to get out of it smoothly rather than dig himself deeper.
Is there any specific triggers that you have that do trigger like depression episodes?
Yeah. My wife helped me figure this out. So when someone goes after the character, like who I am, and I know it goes against my character, I don't really understand it yet, but like my wife is really good at doing this. Like she'll try to claim I'm someone who I'm not, you know, and it just triggers me. And apparently that's a big sign of like autism. Like they don't like when like a lot of autistic people don't like when their character is being challenged.
Right.
So that just happened like a couple days ago. My wife started accusing me and like saying I'm something, and I'm like, you know, I'm not.
Right.
I don't cross that line, like all this stuff. And then now it's like I you know, spiral.
Okay.
Yeah.
And when you're in that spiral, how do you get yourself out now that like you've been able to experience the highs and lows, being able to get yourself out of it? How do you stop yourself from going further and pulling yourself back out to not spiral further?
First of all, you gotta you have to want to, like you said. If you're in it, it's hard. It's easier to just stay in it, but you have to understand that the outside of it is better, no matter what.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it's more beneficial. You should want to. So once you have that bit of energy, what I do is like I stop, I just breathe, and I think about why am I actually feeling this way. And the tips that the tools that I was given is that you're feeling negative, whatever it is, either sad, angry, any type of negative emotion, is because of 4 reasons. So first reason is because you're not in line with yourself. So who you are, like you're saying you're saying yes when you should say no. Like you're doing something that goes against who you are. You know, the second one is you're lacking self-love. The other one is you're thinking about the past, and the fourth one is you're thinking about the future.
That's me every day.
All four? Yeah.
Same.
No, yeah.
Same.
And same. That was
my
me.
God.
So to do that, once you realize what it is, then you can start reprogramming your mind on each one.
Yeah.
You know, okay, think about the future, think about the past. Super easy, hard to implement is just being present.
Right.
Once you realize being where you're at, everything just goes away.
Right.
You know, I have a bunch of edits that are due tomorrow. I'm probably going to be up. But right now I'm among great people, you know, doing a cool podcast, and everything's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You know, but if I was thinking about those edits, I'd be stressed. I'd be anxious.
Right.
I would, hey, this day sucks. Like,
Yeah.
you know, but right now everything's perfect.
That
I would
makes
say.
sense.
So the other one is self-love. Is think about the times that, you know, think about your value, you know, your accomplishments, be grateful for all the things that you have. And just put those thoughts in your brain, you know, let go of the things that you are thinking, like the negative ones.
Right.
And then the other one is being aligned with yourself. That one's tough for me because I still struggle with that. Like people please, like, so I try to say, like, you know what? I'm a good person. I try to overfill my self-love. I'm a good person. I'm doing this because of this and that. But I need to teach myself that next time I'm going to do better.
Right.
Gotcha.
I'm going to let this go. I'm going to suffer through this one. I'm not going to speak my mouth now.
Right.
But the next time I'm going to practice and do better. And that can usually helps me with all of it.
I like that a lot.
Yeah. I've been trying to implement that part recently because I would just be so open to everyone, like asking for advice, and like I'd help everyone for free. Like, how do I start a movie, and like how do I write?
And it's not in line with yourself.
No, like
like you.
Yeah.
And you shouldn't feel bad for who you are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It actually reminded me of a really good advice too that I was given is relationships. You know, but being around people who don't make you feel bad for who you are.
Yeah.
You know, who embrace who you are. Like I had friends, and this is where it gets tricky because I do have one friend, and if he watches this, maybe he knows. But I have one friend that will make fun of each other and we'll say all these fun things and we have a good time. But then when we're in public and we're around people I don't know, he'll make fun of me. And I'm like, I don't know if I like that.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's maybe where I cross the line. We have good fun, but I don't know these people and I want to make sure I make a good impression, but you're constantly making fun of me. And I feel like, are we joking around or are you making me look bad?
Right.
So what were you going to say?
Oh, no, that just reminded me of, like, I'm guilty of that too. And I have
doing that or?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Of doing that. And it came from that insecurity of like, I want to seem like the alpha. I want to seem like
it makes sense.
I fit in more and stuff. And so like there's like a buddy of mine who I remember at that time, like I wasn't trying to be like a dick or anything.
Yeah.
But like teasing him about facial hair, teasing him about this, teasing him about that, like, because that's how I was treated when I was younger. We kind of showed love to each other by making fun of each other, by kind of like fucking with each other in those ways. And so like when we're doing that, that's us saying like, hey, we're homies type of thing.
Yeah.
But afterwards, like after we stopped hanging out, we kind of like lost touch and everything. I was like, I think I took that way too far a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Like I don't remember if there was any retaliation back, but I'm like, I don't know. I
felt it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Try this. Like still have fun with your friends and like make fun of them person to person, you know? But then when you're around them with strangers, have their back.
Right.
Where if someone says something or you hype them up or you make them feel good.
Right.
The amount of like how good you feel after that is just incredible. You know, especially if you're defending.
Oh, I do that now.
Yeah.
The amount of times I'm hyping her up to different people and stuff.
Yeah.
Like I love being like the ultimate wingman now.
Yeah.
I'm like, have you met this dude? Like, this is the most dope dude you'll ever meet in the world.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. Yeah, that's cool.
Hell yeah. Is there Any other specific awareness or anything that we didn't touch on about like depression that you want to make sure gets said or that there is awareness brought to?
I don't know. What do you guys struggle with? What's some stories that you guys have?
Oh man.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's hard. Well, what's happening to me this weekend was, I'll just tell a little story. I suffer from bipolar depression, so it's like constant all the time.
Oh,
I get
man.
like 3 good days a month where I'm like normal functioning. But this weekend, Labor Day weekend, I would always go to the lake with my family my entire life until my dad passed away. And it's been 10 years now as of September 9th. And I just got a Facebook memory.
Do they still go and you don't go? Or they just stop?
Before.
Okay.
And I was disinvited from the trip. And it was this whole thing. So now, like, just the thought of the lake trip with that, like me being disinvited to the trip added on top of us not going anymore is such a like hurtful memory now. Like it's a good memory, but I just got a Facebook memory pop up and I was like devastated by it. I was like, we just don't have that weekend anymore and I'll never get it back. So I've been suffering the past like 5 days about it pretty badly. And that's that like thinking about the past section, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I remind myself to be grateful, you know, because who gets to say they went to the lake every year, you know, during the Labor Day weekend, you know? And like, I had an amazing dad. And so it's nice that I can miss him, you know? But I see people like not calling their dads and like not hanging out with them, even if they're close. Like, I understand if they're not close, whatever. But like if they are close, I'm like, did you call your dad? You know?
I call my parents. Right?
Yeah. Because nobody really knows like when the last time you're going to see them is. And like you have to be like, we were talking about present in the moment. Like what I tell people now is like, find out what their like cologne is and like try to record their laugh and like take a picture of their eye color and stuff like that. Like, because I wish I had any of that.
Guys, I think that's actually something that I feel like I've been struggling for a long time and I haven't been able to like figure it out.
Yeah.
It started with my brother who was trans, so it was my sister, but now my brother. So he was getting into a lot of like drugs and a lot of like bad people around him. And he collapsed, and there's been a few like scary instances where I started like pulling back because I was so scared. Like if I'm gonna lose you, I kind of just want to prepare myself.
Yeah.
Right.
And now because of that, I started just that habit. I started doing that a lot more with people.
Yeah.
Just like distancing yourself.
Yeah, my parents are getting older.
Yeah.
They're in Italy, so it's kind of hard to. It is kind of hard to have a strong relationship with they're overseas.
Right.
But now I'm feeling like I'm talking to them less because like they're getting older and I haven't lost someone in a long, long time.
Right. See, I was the same way.
Were you?
Yeah, because my dad got diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer and like he had 2 months to live basically. He lived 10 months. But like the whole time I was just going to work and living my life normally. And like I was like, I'll just see him after work every day and all that. But like, it didn't click in my mind how important it was. Like, I was just like, oh, I can't see him sick. Like, and he didn't want me to see him sick. So like, he would actually cancel sometimes when he was having a bad day. But like, I wish that I was there no matter what now. Because I just was like, oh, I don't want to be around him when he's sick. I would kill to be around him when he's sick. So it's just, you feel like you're protecting yourself by moving away from them, but it's going to hurt later so much more, in my opinion, in my experience.
I'm really guilty of that too.
Yeah.
But it's like after I turned 18, like moved out of the house and stuff, I pretty much distanced myself completely from all of my family. And my dad, who is an alcoholic, he also has bipolar and stuff, and his is triggered usually by drinking and all that kind of stuff. And I remember after like he moved back to the East Coast after I turned 18, He broke his sobriety and then came back here. And the amount of times that like I wanted to have a good relationship with him, but then I'd purposely just not because of the situation that he was consistently putting himself in.
Yeah.
And there would be times that like it wouldn't just be like, oh, having a few beers and stuff. It would be like there were times he told me about like one time that he literally went like 3 days of only consuming vodka for like that and pretty much like put himself into a coma and stuff. And I remember a little bit after that, like I just hadn't heard from him in a while. And the amount of times that I've kind of just sat there and been like, I don't know if my dad's alive right now.
Yeah.
I haven't talked to him or anything, but it was like I wanted to distance myself and just be able to prepare myself for the fact that like, you know what, if I can start kind of getting used to that feeling now, then when it's actually confirmed, it's going to be
easier.
Yeah, it's going to be
get
easier to
that
go
thought
through that.
process, but like what I would recommend changing your mindset about it of like, I understand that like someone that's doing difficult things like that to deal with is hard to deal with, but maybe you can look at it and be like, even though my dad's drinking right now, I want to like maybe hear a story of his, like,
Yeah.
Yeah, what
You know?
you said about capturing their eye color and that hit me because
yeah,
my dad has a unique eye color,
yeah,
and if you told me to describe it, I don't know,
yeah,
brown, green, somewhere in there.
yeah. I
Dang.
recommend like just interview your family,
Oh
ask
my
them like what their
gosh.
favorite childhood memory is, like what your grandparents were like just so you can hear, because like my dad would always tell me the story all the time 24/7. Like it was so annoying to the point I'm like, I've heard this story before and now I don't remember it, and he's not here to tell me, and I don't have it recorded, so it's just like I get bits and pieces of the story, but it's like, holy crap, like you guys don't realize like how important those things are, like mainly also just because like your family history, like maybe you can find out more about your family, like why does
Yeah.
your dad drink, and you know what I mean, like what his good parts are, what makes him laugh, instead of focusing on like he's an alcoholic.
Yeah. I mean, he's doing good now, but it's also, I feel like now the relationship is more, I don't want to say pride, but that's like the best way I can describe it. The sense of like, it's a two-way street.
yeah,
I can call you, but you can also call me. And that's kind of how it
That's
is with
the
most of
thing,
my
too.
family.
If it's
like,
difficult, then
yeah, like
Yeah.
my mom reaches out to me all the time. And so I have no problem once in a while calling her to do that. But like with my dad, the amount of times that like it'll be my birthday or something and I won't even hear from him, or like big holidays or something and I have to call them. And I'm
but
like,
that's part of like being a bigger person
I
in
know.
the next generation of like they're
Breaking the
set in their
cycle.
ways, and,
Yeah.
like you're wanting your dad to call you, so you have to call him,
yeah.
and that
Wow.
sucks.
And it's just kind of one of those
Thank
things
you.
that like
Yeah, that's
I live a very busy life and like I already have troubles keeping up with my current relationship with my friends. I know my dad's not like, he's not doing crazy stuff. He's living a very simple life now.
Yeah.
And the fact that I'm like, I'm your only son and you still can't find time, an hour or something this week to call me.
But that could be like his own depression and his own like,
Yeah,
guilt
that's true.
of
Yeah.
I don't want to like show you that he feels bad
Right.
about anything, and you know what I mean. So
Mhm.
his own pride, like his
Yeah.
own, like
like there's always deeper things that you like aren't seeing
Yeah.
because
it's always
you're
about the other
distancing.
person.
Yeah. You
It's
never
always
know
Yeah.
what's
the
going
other
on the other
person.
side.
Yeah. And distancing yourself, like it makes sense because like they're not calling you, so I'm not gonna call them. But
My older sister distances herself from me or the family a lot.
yeah,
I'm always thinking like, what did I do wrong?
Right.
And I'm thinking, oh no, she's feeling a certain type of way,
Yeah.
and she's thinking all these thoughts, and
yeah,
I should just reach out and say,
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like I had like a big fight with my aunt and uncle, and they like told me I couldn't be around my cousins for a little while, and so like there was a long time where I didn't talk to my cousin, and I knew that he needed my help, and he finally reached out to me, and because I was like, he doesn't like me either now and all this stuff, so I can't reach out to him, and he finally reached out to me, and he was like, hey, like you're my favorite cousin, like please talk to me, and I was like, this whole time I was thinking that I shouldn't talk to you, you know? And you just have to reach out yourself and tell them like, hey, whatever's going on with you, I still love you, you know? That's my
You're gonna make me buy a ticket to Italy now and
Dude,
figure something out.
I was gonna say, like, really, you know,
The credit card.
yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Tickets to London right now, round trip, are $450.
Still expensive for me.
I know, but
Yeah.
it used to be like
it's 'cause
$1,800.
It's three
dude.
people that I got.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. But I'm gonna say that too.
No, I mean,
Yeah.
I'll figure something out.
Trip to Italy for sure at some point. You know,
Yeah. Well, yeah.
it's important. Even just like FaceTiming. You know.
I got to do that more often.
Yeah.
A lot more.
So
They
that's
say
what.
it too. I know they notice it. I know
Yeah.
they notice that I'm pulling away, but
Mhm.
like you said, I've been a little worried and scared.
Yeah, life is short though. You gotta
Yes.
like enjoy every
Yeah.
single moment, even if, because like my mom's getting older now too, and like we're a little worried about her sometimes. But it's just like I'm just gonna like memorize her smile and like listen to the stories she tells me, even though like I don't relate to them at all. You know,
Yeah.
just because like I'm not gonna have her at some point. You know.
Yeah.
So that's what I recommend for everybody. That's my story.
Well, thank you for being open and vulnerable about that.
Yeah.
I know that's not something. It's hard to talk about. I know how hard it is to talk about your dad, and
Yeah.
I know you were telling me a little bit earlier about some of the stuff. It's like me and you have like we're usually hanging out probably more than we should, and like I was like I haven't seen you in what feels like 10 lifetimes.
It's been a long time.
Like we haven't hung out hardly at all the last few weeks.
Yeah, it's been like a month, dude.
I know, and
Wow.
it's weird because like we're used to
Seeing each other every day for like 10 days in a row.
yeah
Really?
yeah like
Yeah.
consistently like seeing each other.
Mhm.
But I mean I've been going through my own depression the last couple of months too.
Yeah.
I'm better at hiding it now, fortunately and unfortunately.
I'm happy that you tell me about it though. Like
Yeah.
check in.
Yeah.
Well, that's one of the things that like I do my best with checking with other people. When I feel down, I solve that by checking with other people
Yeah.
because
I'm terrible about that, checking in on you. I really am.
well, no, and that's like
Oops.
I usually, and that's kind of like my, like everyone has like their tall tale of like when they're doing, like how they're doing. And mine is usually like, I'll be reaching out to 10 different people to see how they're doing because for me, I'm suffering right now.
Yeah.
And so like, I'll be like, hey, how are you? How's your mental? Like if I can help you, if I can solve whatever you're going through,
It'll help me.
it'll give me purpose. It'll
That's
help.
good to know.
It'll help me a little bit.
good to
So
know.
a lot of
Yeah.
times, like I'll reach out if I haven't talked to you in a long time. Like, hey, it's been a long time. How are you? And like I'll do that because I'm suffering a lot on the inside. Like even
That
lately,
takes such like strength to do, because like when I'm really bad, I do not want to talk to anybody.
well, I hate seclusion, and I know
Yeah.
that the seclusion is what will lead further down the route of
Spiral
depression
more.
for me.
Yeah.
And the only way I can I can get out of the seclusion is by reaching out and be like, hey, let's go get some coffee. I want to
Yeah.
hear about like how your life has been. And
Yeah.
I want to get my mind off of this darkness, off of this depression and
Right.
hear about you and see if I can help you in some way. Because if I can serve you and help you, I can eventually help myself out in its own weird way and stuff. And like,
Does that actually help you, or do you? Because like I'm told that I have to like sit with myself and be alone and like feel my feelings and get
Ooh,
over
She has a
it.
good point.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
It depends. A lot of times, like I am happy to reconcile the relationships a little bit, especially if it's someone I haven't hung out with or talked to or something in a while. But a lot of times, like the other day, I deal with a lot of FOMO. That's like one of my biggest things right now because I didn't get that super fun life growing up. I didn't get to go to all the cool parties. I didn't get to do all the cool spring break trips or do any of that. And like, so there's like a lot of making up that I feel like I have to do. And so I'm always trying to like make up for lost time, make up for lost things. And so when there's an opportunity and I'm not invited or something, immediately it's like a big thing of FOMO
Oh man.
that I end up having. And like this last weekend, I had a lot of FOMO. I got to go on the lake with some friends and it was super cool. I got to like do my dream job for an entire day. And then they all went out to dinner and didn't invite me. And immediately I'm like doing this whole FOMO thing, but I'm like trying to like in this huge battle of like, well, I can't even really afford to go out. And like be putting myself more in a financial hole if I was pressured to go out. I'm not even dressed to go out to a restaurant, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like trying to battle it. But at the same time, there's always that like, I just want that invitation. I just want to know that you want my presence around you.
Yeah.
I just want to know that you want my inclusion. Like,
Man, I'm seeing a pattern. I don't know if I should. Do you want me to?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, absolutely.
I'm seeing the pattern now. And I think it all stems from self-love.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So oh man, now where I was going to go with this.
Well, no,
Okay.
that's a big thing. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But
So have you heard of The Secret?
yes.
Okay. Like, like, I don't know if practiced it or not.
I try to every like part of my morning routine that I've done is doing like a manifestation type of thing
Manifestation.
of trying to get my energy to be at a certain level.
Yeah.
Like
So
energy attracting.
Here's where
energy.
people get it wrong. All right.
Okay.
With The Secret, it says what you want, you should think about and just pray for. It's like, I want more money. I want more money. I want more money. But where people get it wrong is that their language in their head, they're saying, I want.
Mhm.
That your brain really is saying is,
You don't have it.
you don't
yet.
have it.
Right.
So almost with all the conversations that you've been giving me, you've been saying that you want this and you want that, and you kind of want this level of status or you want this level of thing. I don't think you want any of that. I think what you really want is just to be loved, like have a self,
Mhm.
purpose, like a level of like self where it's good enough.
Right.
Which if no one's ever said, like no one said this today, you are good enough.
Well, and that's that presses its own
I'm
button
glad you said that.
because
Really?
Yeah.
it's always like I talk to her about this a lot. Like, I am always my worst self-critic.
Mhm.
There's never a time that I feel like I'm doing enough. There's never a time I feel like I am enough. There's never a time I feel like I'm like, I always feel like I should be doing more. I should be more. I always tell myself like, I'm this far in life and I haven't become a millionaire yet. I haven't done this. I haven't done that. And like, I haven't done these things that I told myself I would do. But over the last like little bit, it's funny that you're saying that. Like, I've kind of been switching it to where like I try to journal every day, and in my journal, the first thing I write, like at first it was just like all this negative, like, oh, I feel depressed today, blah, 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 just kind of brain dumping that. But now for the last like week, I've been experimenting with this thing with like the first sentence I write is, I'm so thankful for life. I'm so thankful for the opportunities I've been given. I'm thankful for the people. Like, I start with like the gratitude. I start with like that higher thing of like, I'm so thankful for the work I get to do. Even if it's not the most amazing thing every day, I get to enjoy this freedom. I get to do that, like forcing myself to just be like, you know what? Just be thankful for this right now and be thankful for the fact that like I am taken care of. I'm not living on the street. I have people around me and stuff.
And here's a trap again, so I can like describe it again. A lot of people do those actions. They do the actions, they do the stuff, like
Right.
they do the mantras, all that stuff, but they don't observe their language. Your language is going to tell you what you deep down think of yourself subconsciously.
Right.
And I know that you're saying you're improving and all that stuff, but that's also a trap that people fall into is like, I'm better now. I'm much better now.
Right.
If you pull that back and you say, I'm still working on that, I'm still going towards that goal because I'm not perfect. I'm still going towards it.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? You start to see like, okay, I have this much to work with,
Right.
like
You'll never get there because you're still getting better.
Yeah, you're still trying to, what's the word? Yeah, I don't know.
No,
made sense.
it makes sense. I mean, it kind of comes into like, there was a quote that just popped into my head one day to where it's like, fruit can only grow from fertile soil. So if you're damaging, like if you're self-hating, if you're saying all this kind of stuff to hurt yourself, which I constantly do, like in my head, I'm always constantly saying these things. You're damaging your soil and you're not allowing there to be fertile soil for fruit to grow from.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you're almost doing like a self-inflicted type of failure in a way.
A different way that I think about it is, and people like don't like me about my ego that I have with myself. But it's like the delusion.
you think you're
They think that
right.
I'm better than everyone else usually.
Okay.
But it's because I like know what I want and I'm going to get it. Right.
Yeah.
And so like a way that people describe it is like when you're building a business, everyone's going to talk to you about like, that's not going to work. You're not going to do it. But you know the vision and just don't like defer to anything else and you'll get it done. Right. And everyone will be happy once it's done, but they won't believe in you until it's over. Right.
Yeah.
But the whole time you're thinking like, I am the person that's going to do this. Like this is.
What's the NF song that he do you remember? There's like an NF song specifically to where he was saying like,
you have to believe fully that you already are the person.
Well, there's like 2 verses from NF that it reminds me of. There's one of it's like every day that you wake up and you think you'll never be great, not because you're
I like
not,
that song.
but the hate will always find a way to murder your faith.
Yeah.
There's that one, but then there's another one towards like I can't remember exactly the verse, but he's talking about how like people used to say like, oh, what you're doing, blah blah blah. And now they're like, hey, what's up? And it's like no. Yeah.
Yeah. So like for the example of like you're on the lake and stuff, like instead of like being upset that you didn't get to go to dinner with everyone, you should like think of like, I got to go on the lake, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like I was the videographer for the day and like they were like the cast, they were the talent.
Yeah.
The talent gets to go to dinner and I get to go home because I was working. You know what I
Well,
mean? So
and
it's not the FOMO thing.
I was kind of solving at the end of the night with just saying like, you know what, I get to save money tonight.
Yeah.
I know that I probably wouldn't even have the time that I would expect to have there because I don't really know anyone that was there. So I'd be kind of just sitting there by myself at the table, just eating a meal that I probably can't afford and stuff,
Right.
trying to just fit in. But like I said, it wasn't necessarily that experience that I was chasing. It was the acceptance that I was
Right.
chasing, the wanting to be perceived as of value to them, like
Yeah.
everyone else was.
But separating yourself as like they hired you
Yeah.
for the day and like thinking of them as literally like talent that you're shooting will keep you from feeling badly.
Yeah.
Because I think that's what they were thinking, you know?
And for me, what helps me, and maybe I don't know how much time we have, but sharing, like having a purpose, you know,
Yeah.
walking with purpose, it has always helped me. When I started videography, I would go to these events and then I would have like people, I'm going to bring you so much business. Come with me. Like, yeah, I go to these fancy mansion things and I'm recording everyone.
Yeah.
I'm not getting paid. Just bring your camera and you're invited.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not going to record too much. I'm not getting paid.
Right.
And then the group's like, hey, come over here. And I was like, hey, what's up? And they're like, all right, we're ready. I'm like, oh, no, I'm not working. Like
yeah.
this. And they're like, oh, I'll pay you. I was like, no, I don't want money. I'm here to just enjoy.
Yeah.
And then they're like, yeah, but you have a camera right now. So why don't you just take it? I was like, yeah, just like, I feel like being used.
Right.
But little do they know that I'm on my way to build an empire and I'm going to be this incredible person that one day they'll be like, oh, shoot, maybe they don't remember me, but they'll have a moment in their lives where they got to meet me.
Right.
Right.
That's how I feel about myself.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Well, that was another thing that I was starting to think. I'm like, I follow faith, and there was actually a service this last weekend that I heard, and it was talking about distraction and the fact that like the enemy, at least in my faith, like the enemy will try to distract you from the path and the purpose because that's what they're trying to do. And I've had such a specific path my entire life, and it's to build this empire, build this community and stuff. And like, it's not all glitz and glam at the top. It's not going to be all this like sipping margaritas on the beach and just enjoying all this kind of like, it's tough work. But like, even in like my meditation, when I'm like visualizing the life that I want to have, I'm like, this doesn't fit that picture. So why am I stressing about this thing that doesn't even fit the picture for something that I'm actually trying to go for? Like in my head, I'm thinking about this amazing house, my wife, my kids, these trips I'm going on, these movies that I get to do, this podcast, this like all this kind of stuff. I'm not worried about these parties or whatever. I'm not worried about this. I'm like, that's not in the vision at all. It's what I chase right now, but not for the experience, but for the acceptance. But in reality, I'm like, I'm still on this path. Yeah. Now it's just like, cool. I got to do that. I got to meet some people. They know what I do. I follow them. Cool. Maybe I didn't go out to dinner with them, but they know who I am. And next time I see them, I'll still be probably just working with them. Would I like to be friends? Yeah. But the more I go down the journey, the more people I'm going to get to meet.
Yeah, that's how I think, because people take me the wrong way all the time.
Mhm.
Just because everyone tells me it's not what I say, it's how I say it, and I don't know how to fix it. I'm trying to figure it out, but
Maybe
I
it's how
just-
they listen. Not
it's also how they listen. I don't mean to be rude, like ever, most of the time.
most of the time.
But literally, like, I just know that the people that take me the wrong way are not meant to be in my life. And like, if I'm
Mhm.
not included in like sets and stuff, then they don't get to be on mine. And like
Right.
along my life journey, I'm like, since I started, like, I have good friends like all over the country, all over the world, that I can make a movie and call them all in.
Right.
You know, because like for a long time, I wanted all Arizona everything. And since a lot of people in Arizona haven't had my back, like, I'm going to have all the people that have my back come in,
Yeah.
you know, and like throughout the rest of my life, I'm going to grow the people that are going to stay. And so like, I don't
Right.
need to go to that party. I don't need to go to that set because they don't get to come to mine,
Right.
you know?
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
I always had a question, and I don't want to keep prolonging, but
No, you're good.
I always wondered, why are you such an advocate for Arizona? I always wanted to ask you that.
Literally, it's selfish reasons.
Okay.
Because I want the film industry to be big so that I can work on big stuff out here.
Okay.
Literally.
That makes sense. I always
But,
like, because you're like, if there's one person I feel like is just Arizona.
Gung-ho Arizona.
Yeah.
Well, you're also from here.
I'm from here. So yeah, I was
okay.
born here. I just don't want to leave. So like
Makes sense.
the best way that I could
Look at
get
you.
bigger
It's
sets.
Yeah, it's like, I'm not leaving, so I'm.
Literally, yeah.
But you
But,
also
like,
have the tendency to just love to build stuff too.
I do love to build stuff, but like I figured out that the only way that I could get big stuff out here is to grow the entire industry out here
Mhm.
and get everyone trained properly and get everybody to work together.
Dang, that's talk about purpose.
Yeah,
Mm.
I know. It's kind of been
Yeah.
heavy on my shoulders. Like there was a few years where I was like, the entire Arizona industry is on my shoulders right now, and it's all up to me. But because I've like infiltrated some of the organizations out here and have been doing the groundwork, I realized that it's like almost impossible to do what I was trying to do. It's going to take years. So I just kind of like took some of it off my shoulders
Yeah.
and like mainly also because like so many of the people out here don't have my back. So like me doing all this work for them, like
Dang.
nobody's going to be grateful for any of it.
Yeah.
So why
I'm
am I
grateful.
killing myself?
I'm grateful
it?
for what you've helped me.
Thank
Yeah.
I'm
you.
grateful.
I
Yeah.
feel like Arizona Filmmakers has. That's why when you told me you inserted yourself, I was like, that's funny. I felt like I was like hoping to pull you so you can help me.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
that's so funny.
Dang.
Yeah,
That's super
I
fun.
love, honestly, like I'm so grateful for Arizona Filmmakers because I don't want to like talk crap about the other organization I'm a part of. But it's just like the Arizona Filmmakers is community over competition, and we like try to help everybody and like foster creativity and foster like thinking differently, and like we hold workshops to train people and like get the like we do when we do workshops get like the best in the business out here to teach and stuff. And so like I don't know, it's just been such a great community to be a part of, and I'm happy.
I'll come back. I'll come.
David, thank you so much for the vulnerability. Thank you so much for taking the time to come over here and for the stories that you shared. I know it's, especially for some of the stuff that you mentioned, it's really not easy to talk about, and especially with the stigma in today's world, it gets even harder. And being a man, being vulnerable and stuff can also be very difficult depending on what your upbringing is. So
Yeah.
I just personally want to say thank you for being open, for being vulnerable. You never know who is listening, who needed to hear what you were saying, to not feel alone, to feel heard. And so big thank you from the bottom of my heart.
No, I thank you guys for what you're doing. You guys are doing something great. So I just appreciate just podcasts like this and what you guys like. You guys really make it a really safe space to share. So thank you.
We try.
That means a lot to me. I
you.
appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you.